Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Lunch Talk with the Carters. I am your hostess, Star Carter.
And I am your host, Michael Carter.
And we just come to tell you all that it is time to get the show started. What's up, guys? It is Friday. Almost at the end. We at the end of another work week. So how you doing today, Mr. Carter?
Doing great.
All right. Today, our show is brought to you by Lunch Talk with the Carters couples line. That's right. Lunch Talk with the Carters has a couples line. Make sure that if you want to buy the Lunch Talk with the Carters couples line, we are doing king and queen collection. So if you want to get your king and queen on, we got the shirts that has king on for the guys and queen for the girls. We got her king, his queen. Is that right? Yeah, her king, his queen. That's right. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we got rings, we got some more jewelry coming, hats, bracelets, and all kind of stuff. So guys, go ahead and get your king and queen merch from Lunch Talk with the Carters couples line. You can go on our Facebook page, Lunch Talk Show, or just look up Lunch Talk with the Carters on Facebook, and you can actually shop the merchandise from Facebook. And it'll actually, but you'll pay in our store that's online, but you can actually see the merchandise from our Facebook page. So we really do appreciate you supporting the show as always. So today, guys, we're going to continue with our mindfulness relationship topic. So today we're going to talk about taking responsibility in your relationship. So taking responsibility is the topic of discussion for today in our mindfulness series. We about to bring it to an end. So you want to start it off today, babe?
Yeah, well, guys, we're saving the best for last. So this topic right here is going to be, it might make Lunch Talk with the Carters kind of hate it because, you know, the reason I say that, because of the fact that no one wants to take responsibility for their actions. You ask someone to step up to the plate, take responsibility for their actions, they look at you side-faced because they always want to point and blame other people for the outcome of their life, which is not true because every situation you've put yourself in, you've played a part in that. So just take a good look at yourself, guys. Take a good look at yourself. Okay. You know, every situation you has came to in your life, you have played some sort of part in that situation or the outcome of that situation.
Yes, that's correct. Cause, nobody, like I said, nobody wants to take responsibility. And here's the thing, that we learn, and that not just in relationship, but in life general. You know, if you're somewhere where you don't want to be, if you're unhappy, you got to look at what have you caused to get you to that point? What have you done in your life that makes you unhappy now in your life? Because every choice that you make is going to reflect your future self. So whether you are doing the right thing in your relationships or you're doing the wrong thing, what you're doing today is going to predict what's going to go on for you in the future, right? So with that being said, are you making the type of choices, mindful choices, that is going to set you up for a good future? Pretty much. Because if you out doing wrong, then those wrongs are going to catch up to you. So whatever kind of seeds that you are sowing right now, today, if you're sowing whatever seeds you're sowing, you're going to reap that harvest. In other words, what goes around comes around. You're going to get karma back. So if you're not sowing the type of seeds that you want to harvest in your relationship, in your life, then that's what you're going to get. And don't be all upset with yourself when the outcome does not come out favorable. Cause then you got to take responsibility for your own actions. So this is what this show is about today. Taking responsibility about where you're at right now in your life, in your relationship.
Okay. Well, let's look at this a little deeper, guys. We're going to look at this a little deeper. Okay. We're going to probe a little deeper in your relationship. Okay. Say for instance, you got a compulsive cheater. Okay. A compulsive cheater asks this person, male or female, why are you cheating? They're not going to just come out and say, I'm a cheater. They're going to blame it on their mate or the person they're with. I'm not getting this. I'm not getting the attention I want. I'm not getting the sexual pleasures I want. It's going to always pinpoint that situation to someone else. Okay. You're not just going to look at yourself and say, okay, this is something I wanted to do. I saw an attractive lady or I saw an attractive man. I wanted to take it to that step with that person. Okay. But if you ask that person, why did they cheat? Or even if they get caught cheating by their mate, they're going to put that blame on their mate, their significant other, something their significant other is not doing. Well, let me correct that for you guys. Okay. If you are not a cheater, no one can make you cheat. No one can make you cheat if you're not a cheater. Like the old saying goes, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Okay. If you're not a cheater, how can someone make you something you're not? That is so puzzling to me. How can someone make you something you're not because of their actions?
You're right. That's a good point. That's a great point, Mike. Because you can't, that's good stuff right there, babe. That's good stuff.
You know, it's just curious. I'm very curious about that. You know, if you're not a cheater, okay, if you're not, you know, just use my hood lingo, but if you're not a crackhead, you never done drugs, you don't want to do drugs, can a friend or somebody make you do drugs? No.
Yeah.
No. If you know the dangers of crack, you don't want to be a crackhead, right? Yeah. Could a friend, because of their actions, make you do drugs? No, because you're not a crackhead.
You are so right. That's why I'm saying yeah, guys. I'm not saying yeah because your friend
because
it
could make you do it.
You're right. You're right. I mean, because you are absolutely right when it says that when you're saying that can't nobody persuade you, or just because your mate or whatever is not giving you enough love in your relationship, bedroom or whatever, you cannot make that the reason why you step out on your mate. And then, and you know what? When you said that, it's so funny because that is the number one thing that people use as their excuse when they do that, when they do cheat on their mate. That's the number one excuse.
Exactly.
I mean, that's I'm not going to say guy, but most times that's what guys say, that they're not getting enough at home or whatever. So that's the reason why they going out getting another, female. And most women, when they go out and cheat, it's usually emotional with them. And they're more like, well, I'm not getting the emotional attention or whatever that I need at home. My husband, he doesn't, he's not sensitive to my needs anymore, or he doesn't pay me any attention. You know, it's always emotional with women when they cheat versus guys. It's more sexual usually when a guy cheats, cause y'all guys are usually good about separating emotions from sex. So I've never really known a guy to go outside their relationship for emotional reasons. So usually, you know, like you were saying, that's that thing where they say, well, I did it because such ain't giving me none, or she ain't hooking me up no more, and blah, blah, blah. So that's why I'm a cheat. But not taking responsibility of saying, that's what I wanted to do.
Exactly. That's the thing. You know, just being a man or a woman, just coming out and saying it. You know, this was something I wanted to do and you did it. Only reason probably you're sorry now is because you got caught. Okay. This episode, guys, is not just about cheating. That's just an example I started with. Mm-hmm. We're going to go deeper. We're going to go to, if your relationship's not working, okay, look at yourself. What can I do to make that relationship better? Don't be concerned about your mate because you can't control their actions. You cannot control somebody else's action. What we mean by taking responsibility, just not for the cheating thing, guys. It was just an example. But in your relationship, if your relationship is not where it's supposed to be or where you want it, you know, sexually, emotional, financial, or whatever, look at yourself. Take responsibility. What have I done or what can I do to make the situation better?
Yeah, because I mean, what are you saying, like finances? Are you one of those ones that spend money all the time and, you know, you get the bill money, but you don't pay the bill? Or you say, well, I'm going to hold on to this because I know I have the money to pay the bill and he won't know it. You know, stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and spend this on an outfit or something, and then I'll put it back. He won't even know it. And then something may come up and you can't put it back, you know, and then instead of taking, you know, a lot of people don't want to take responsibility. They want to make excuses. Well, I had to pay this. I had to do this, or I had to do that. Don't want to take responsibility once you are caught.
That's the kicker.
Once you are caught.
That's the whole thing. Are you sorry for the situation, or are you sorry that you got caught?
Yeah.
That's the topic. That's the thing right there, guys. That is the le coup de grace. You know, that is the le coup de grace right there. Are you apologizing? Are you apologetic for the situation, or are you just apologetic because you got caught? Because if you would have never got caught, would you have been sorry?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Responsibility. It works in so many different ways. Back to what we're saying about mindfulness. Mindfulness is being aware of your actions and your emotions and everything today. You know, not thinking about yesterday. You know, you can't even think about the future, really, because the future is not promised. All you have is today. You know, what can I do today to make this situation better? What can I do today to make my relationship more stronger? What can I do today to make my finances better? Me and my wife is arguing all the time. Not saying us literally, but just for example, why me and my wife arguing all the time. What did I do to contribute to that argument? Am I trying to work it out, or am I adding fuel to the fire, making the arguments worse? Have I tried to work it out, or are you leaving it all on your mate? What can you do? Not your mate. You only responsible for your action, guys. That's all you could be responsible for. What can I do? And that takes me to a point too. You know, I hear a lot, I'm digressing a little bit, but this is just a point I'm trying to prove. Okay. A lot of people say, okay, I put in 50%. They put in 50%. That equals a whole, right? No, it does. But no, that doesn't work in a relationship. In a relationship, you have to put in 100%. 100. They put in 100. You put in 100. Because if you telling me you only giving me 50%, you letting me know you're not giving me 100%. So that could be taking responsibility, saying, okay, I'm not putting my all into it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm holding a little bit back because I'm waiting for her or him to do their stuff. You know, you can't do that, guys. If you're going to go all in, or even don't start it, because you can't depend on somebody else's emotions to build off your emotions. You can't do it. Mm-hmm. You are who you are. No one else can make you or change you. You know, responsibility for your actions is the key thing that we're talking about today. Responsibility.
Yeah, that you made very great points right there. I'm telling you, that's good stuff. Like you always tell me, that's good stuff. That's good stuff, babe. Because I mean, it's the truth. Really, if you think about, guys, if you really think about and just, be conscious. That's what we mean by mindful. Be conscious of what it is that is causing you to have issues. Is it your mouth? Can you tone down your attitude when it comes to talking to you? Can you be mindful about your tone, how you deliver things? Because it's all about perspective. I can tell Mike right here, I can be like, Mike, I love you. And he's going to feel like that's in a loving way. Or I could be like, I love you. He was like, it don't feel like love. It feel like you want to strangle me. You know, it's the deliverance. I had a lady that asked me today, she said, how do you take criticism? And I said, it's all in how you deliver criticism. If you telling me that you need me to do a specific task the way you want me to do it, if you tell me, well, Star, you did that wrong, let me show you how I do it or how we do it here or something like that, then that's different. But if you like, oh, you did that wrong, you just can't do nothing right, that's a whole nother level, you know? So you're not going to come off as being loving in the second scenario as you would have been more accepted to the first scenario because of the deliverance. So if you are one of the ones when y'all get into an argument or whatever and you all in the face and you all catty and cursing each other out and everything, nobody's going to get anywhere. But guess what? Nobody's going to take responsibility for sitting back and looking like, well, what did I do to make that argument or whatever escalate to the point that it got? Mm-hmm. What was my part in that? Because like my husband said, you can't control what the other person do, but you can control what you do. That's all you have control of. So if somebody come back at you, like we said in the other one, and somebody come at you giving you negative vibe and you know that you were not the cause, you didn't cause whatever's going on for them to talk to you the way that they're talking to you, then maybe you need to step back and be like, hey, look, you're coming at me at an angle and I don't know why. So I'm going to let you have your moment. And then we talk about it like adults.
That's good stuff.
Because because there's somebody coming at you, snapping fingers and acting a fool, kind of like the Friday. That's why every time I think about it, I always think about Friday. Who is that? Just carrying on, acting crazy, and you don't even know what's going on. You just like, what is going on? If you're one of those you need to control your emotions because people will feed off your emotions. If you coming at me, the first defense mechanism is to attack back. Yeah.
That's the law of physics.
You're going to want to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. So how can you bring it down to where you can come to a resolve? That's part of taking responsibility of one's own action when you get into these type of scenarios.
Exactly. Responsibility for your action, guys. Responsibility. And here's a little something else we're going to go a little deeper on. Okay. You know, you hear a lot of guys and a lot of females as well always say, there's no good men out there. There's no good women out there. Or why am I always getting the bad women? Why am I always getting the bad men? Okay. Take a look at yourself. Let's start doing the responsible thing, you know, having responsibility for yourself. Okay. Maybe you attract that type of people because you're that type of person. You never thought about it like that, but maybe you're that type of person. You know, you're negative, you're gripey, you're not loving, you're self-centered, you're out there doing God knows what. And when you get someone like that, you know, like they say, evil doesn't like to see itself. I'm sorry to say it like that, but evil can't stand to see itself. And when they see itself, they can't deal with it. And they wonder why. Look at yourself. Maybe you're attracting that type of person because something is embedded in you that you're that type of person as well, but you just try to keep it hidden. You know, the good person you get, you drive them away. So when you get trash, you know, think about it, guys. Come on now. Think about it. Responsibility. You know, you're attracting that type of people because that's the vibe you put out. That's what you put out. That's exactly what you put out. So that's what you're attracting. No, it's good men and women out there. You need to take responsibility of your actions and change your actions if that's not what you want to receive. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to say that again. Change your actions. If that's not what you want to attract, don't be that. Don't be that if you don't want to attract it. So why there's no good men? Why there's no good women? Responsibility, guys, for your actions. Responsibility.
Oh, he went deep on you then, guys. He went universal law deep on you. And I ain't know you was going to break out the universal laws, but like does attract like. So when you attract the person, like he said, if you attract something into your life, and I don't care how much you go to church and be praying and I asked God to send me a man and he sent you how you are.
Bingo.
You got to be who you want in your life.
Absolutely.
You got to be who you want in your life. I mean, opposite, but you got to be who you want. So if you want somebody loving, you want somebody that's caring, you want somebody that's responsible as far as finance, everything. If those are the traits that you want, guess what? You got to be those traits.
Oh my goodness. That is the gospel.
Yeah, you got to be those traits because you can't, like I was saying before in the happiness, you know, when we was talking about I'm not happy. A person cannot make you happy. If you're not already happy, you expecting somebody to make you whole. As my husband said, you want a 50-50. So you want somebody to come in and give you another 50. No, you got to be 100. Keeping it 100 and being 100.
Exactly. And that's just not the saying on the street, guys. That's real. That's real. You got to put in 100.
Exactly. So when you already a broken person, you got stuff going on inside of you. Guess what? You're going to attract somebody that's also broken. They got something inside of them. And now y'all gonna try to work it out together and neither one of y'all worked on what's going on within you. But then you're gonna put this person in a situation where they gotta fix you. But guess what? They broke too. Two broke people can't fix each other.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And my wife said something, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I mean, she probably don't recall this, but it kind of stuck with me because it made so much sense, you know, with the path and the mental thinking that we're doing now. If you feel low or if you are low, you're going to date low or you're going to attract lowness. That's what you're going to do. You know, I don't think she said it like that, but that kind of way. Yeah. But it made so much sense to me, guys, because if you're low at that time, guess what? If you're out there trying to get a relationship and you at your lowest point, guess what? You're going to attract that. Okay. You're going to attract that. And like she was just saying, two broken people can't fix each other. You know, that's why you got to be a whole person in order to attract another whole person. You got to be what you want to attract. So we're saying responsibility. That's what we're saying. Take responsibility. Don't blame God. Don't blame the universe. Oh, there's no good men. I can't find no good man. I can't find no good woman. Okay. Turn into one. Maybe you can.
And you know what? When you said that made me think of one thing when I've heard people when they go into relationships and they say, well, I've been hurt before and I don't want to be hurt again. I don't want to be hurt again. So that's the reason why they haven't dated or whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, whoever has said that line before, I don't want to be hurt again because I've been hurt before. You have got to heal from that hurt before you go on and putting another person in that place of the hurt, thinking that it's going to make you better. You know, you're thinking that's going to make you better by going to somebody else. So if you are hurt because somebody hurt you in the past in another relationship, then make sure that you get yourself together first, that you're over that hurt, that you're over that. Because all you're doing is dragging luggage from one relationship to the next relationship. And then you're putting this person that you're getting with on an uneven playing field before they even get a chance to get to know you. You were already dragging the baggage into the new relationship, saying that you've been hurt, saying that you having a hard time getting over that hurt. So now this person right here feel like they got to just go way over and beyond to make sure that they don't hurt you. And then the slightest thing is going to bring them crashing back down because you haven't set the bar of expectation up so high. This person hadn't did anything to you, but yet you want them to fix what was already broken from somebody else because you did not go into the relationship whole.
Exactly. Whole, all 100, not 50. Whole 100. You got to put 100% in. And let's talk about the hurt thing for a little bit. People we know, when you get hurt, that is the most painfulest thing in the world. When you're hurt in a relationship, when you've been betrayed, when you've been abused, different types of things, we know that is a very, very painful thing to go through. We're not saying that, the hurt thing is not painful and that you're not scared. Of course you are, but don't pull someone else in because in the beginning, it's set up for destruction because you haven't healed that hurt and you're bringing that in. Responsibility. Do the responsible thing. Wait until you are healed from that hurt. Because as long as you are hurt, people listen to us. Long as you are hurt, you are not going to be able to be happy in another relationship until you work that out, until that hurt is healed. So when you jump from one to the next, do the responsible thing, guys. Do the responsible thing. Take time for yourself to heal. Don't bring someone else in because this person is coming in probably ready to give 100, but you are not. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not ready to give that 100. Okay. You're not ready at that particular time. So therefore you got to be the responsible person, take time for yourself, and then it'll work out for everybody. It'll work out better for everybody. That way you won't go in tiptoeing. You won't go in scared. You won't go in all nervous and worrying about this person going to hurt you because guys, you cannot be responsible for someone else's action. I can't tell you if this person's going to hurt you. Neither can you. You can't tell me that as well, if that person's going to hurt you or not. Nobody knows. It's a chance you take. You take a chance by waking up in the morning. You take a chance by driving your car. Life is a chance. Don't use that as an scapegoat, saying I don't want to be hurt again, so I'm not finna put my 100 in. If you're not ready to do that, don't get involved in a relationship.
That's true stuff, babe. You told us truth there, buddy. You spoke a mouthful. And because hurt people, plain and simple.
Exactly. And that's a brilliant point. Brilliant point.
Yeah. Hurt people. So if you're hurt and you get with somebody and you telling them that you've been hurt before and they probably been hurt before too. Maybe not on the same level, but you're setting each other up for failure. So like my husband said, you got to give 100, both parties. So that's going to give you 200, not 100, but 200. Now y'all going to be 200% together. And that's how you're supposed to be. But you got to take responsibility for what you have caused. What have you done to make your relationship be the way it is? That's what mindfulness and conscious living is when you sit back and you take responsibility for your own actions and how you contribute to what is going on, to your misery or whatever it is that you're complaining about in your relationship. You got to take a conscious look at how you play a part. Don't always point the finger at your mate. Sometimes you got to turn that same finger around and point it back at yourself. And I'm not saying that you're not right sometimes. You know, we all have our moments when we right, but let's look at it objectively and be like, okay, what can I do to change whatever is going on right now? Because if you can't come to a conclusion with these arguments, then you got to have a happy compromise. You got to have a compromise. Some people are just that stubborn and pigheaded that when they feel like they're right, and you can't tell them that they're wrong. Then eventually you just got to say, okay, you right, I'm wrong. I just want to move on. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't keep beating a dead horse. You can't keep doing the same thing. Like we said, if you keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's insanity.
Yep. And expecting different results.
Yeah, that's insanity. Because if you keep doing it the way you've been doing it and it haven't worked before, what make you think it's going to work now? It's not going to work. You got to change something different. In order to get to another level, you got to do next level stuff.
That's a valid point. Responsibility, guys. That's what we're talking about. Responsibility. I know y'all probably asking yourselves out there, who they think they is and all that. No, it's not about that, guys. We just giving you ways to look at things because you evidently you haven't looked at it like that because everybody's so quick to point the finger at other people. I mean, stop pointing the finger. Just stop it. Grow up. Take responsibility. That's what we're trying to get through to you in this episode. Responsibility. Be an adult. Take responsibility. Don't sit there and blame one person, for the entire situation, because I'm pretty sure you played a part in that as well. I mean, I don't know how big or how small. You played a part in it. I don't care if you came home from work. Bad day, you blow up at your wife, she blow back up, Hey, both of you got to take a look at it, Yeah, your husband was wrong for blowing up at you, but then you got to look at yourself and say, okay, did I blow back up at him or did I try to give him 5 minutes to get himself together? Or vice versa, the man or the woman, Everybody's responsible for their action. How do you play up to the situation? If you're right or wrong, like my wife said, you could be right. But what did you do to make the situation better? You may be right about the situation, but what can I do to make it better? Don't worry about them. They'll come around. What can I do? That's the topic of today. What can I do?
Babe, you got anything else you want to say before I run the credits?
Oh, no, that's about it.
All right, guys. So we always appreciate you tuning in to Lunch Talk with the Carters. Make sure that you are checking us out on the Radio Public app, because when you listen to our show on Radio Public, you are financially supporting Lunch Talk with the Carters, and we always appreciate you guys doing that. And make sure, guys, that you go to our Facebook page. You can look us up on Facebook at Lunch Talk with the Carters, or you can look at facebook.com/Lunch Talk Show and check out our couples line apparel, king and queen stuff. Make sure you're checking it out. We're also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, and a whole bunch of other ones that we are on. You can listen to the audio on YouTube. So make sure y'all checking us out. Whatever platform is great for you guys. We always appreciate you tuning in. And here's the takeaway, guys. Just make sure that you're being responsible for your own actions in your relationship. Be conscious of the things that you're doing. Stay out the mental file cabinet. Throw it away. Lock it up. Throw it away. And you got to take responsibility for your own happiness. In order to be happy, you have to be happy within. You can't expect somebody else to make you happy. So we had a good time with this mindfulness series. If this touched your heart or blessed you anyway, make sure you share it. Don't be stingy. Share it with some other couples that may be going through some issues. And maybe you're not in these type of issues, but maybe you can be a blessing and help somebody else out. Maybe they need a different perspective, especially if what they've been doing has not worked for them in the past. Maybe this can be another perspective that they can do and maybe can help and bless their relationship. Because that's what Lunch Talk with the Carters do, right, babe?
Oh, yeah. That's what we do.
We're trying to keep our families first in 2018. We're trying to bring back the home dynamic, the 2-parent households, because it's so many families in this world now that's just broken, because that's what the enemy wants. The enemy does not want us to be families. The enemy wants baby mamas and baby daddies and all that. They don't want that family dynamic that needs to be, we need to have that. It's too many of our kids are dying in the streets, and it's just sad to see how the world is turning. But it's in the Bible, so it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Exactly. That's the gospel truth.
All right. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Anything else you want to say, babe?
That's about it.
All right. Y'all have a great weekend.
Peace.
Peace.